So everyone here knows that Aqua is brand new to dark romance.
Even I know it.
Um, something tells me you dreaded this book a lot, and also something tells me that I'm gonna pull out the Glock at least once or twice this book. But you know what? It is okay. We are dipping our toes in. We are telling him it's gonna be okay. We're gonna do the head pat pats. Violet, tell him it's gonna be okay. She
You
said
know,
everything's gonna
Violet.
be okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm pretty sure just saying that because I always give you treats. I need you to be on my side on this, okay, Violet?
Listen, today it's
Listen,
such a
I
special book.
look. I'm trying, and I made it. Okay, I made it. All
There were
right.
a few tears in there, but I'll
Look,
give
I
you the
never
benefit
said
of the
there
doubt.
wasn't gonna be. I never said there wasn't gonna be tears. I just said I'll push through.
Well, for those
To
who
be fair.
have read it, we are discussing Little Stranger by Lee Rivers, and I love this book.
Oh, and just in case you don't know, I'm Aqua.
Oh yeah, I'm Elvish. Hello. That's Violet.
And we have spoilers here, by the way.
Oh yeah. Um
Yeah.
yeah, Chad, sit down.
Mm-hmm.
Man, oh. So I mean, I guess for starters, this is one of the books that it's recommended that you actually do the audiobook instead of reading the actual book. I did both. And I can honestly say the audiobook is like 1,000 out of 10. Does not disappoint. I absolutely loved the audiobook. I don't know who actually does the voice for Malachi, but he did insane.
That I would agree with. I okay. Okay, put the Glock down. All right. And listen.
Don't tell me what to
Listen.
do.
Listen. Put the Glock down. Set it down. I will say for certain that the male voice actor, because I listened to the audiobook too. I managed to actually listen to it. I did not want to read it. Most because I don't have time to read it. But when I listened to it, I will say whoever did the male voice, one, you shouldn't be doing audiobooks. You should be acting instead because
Oh, agree.
holy crap. Like I have never seen someone like how do I put this? Basically, you put on an actual like performance. Like this is like for you it was a drama. And I hate to say it for the one who played Olivia or not Olivia. Yeah, Olivia. Um uh you know, I think you'd be better off if it's like a nighttime certain type of video style versus this sort of thing
Uh,
because I look I'm trying to say this in a way that without revealing too much of what I actually want to say. Like I'm not trying to like really like down the voice, the voice who did Olivia. I just think your energy feels more for something that's for after hours sort of thing versus this book of thing. And now I get it, dark romance, there are certain things, but given the voice actor who did for Malachi, it's just it's night and day, if that
oh
makes
yeah.
sense.
His
And
voice actor
I
was
love
so
him.
amazing.
Yes, and unfortunately,
Especially
it made her pale in comparison, like really badly.
I mean, I wouldn't say really badly. I wouldn't say that, but especially like because this book only has 12 chapters. I believe Malachi like it completely switches POVs at the end of chapter 9. So chapter 10 all the way to the end, you have just Malachi and like what's going on in his head and all that. And oh
Yeah.
my god, my guy is off his rocker.
Yes. And the guy who did it, a little too well, but in a good way. Like I like
All I
what I'm saying. Like
can
the man put in a performance. He put on a performance.
all I can hear is sorry, sorry, sorry. I'm just like, oh,
Uh,
oh.
I I'm not gonna lie. I hated it because it was too real, just too real.
It
That's why I
was,
hated it.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess for a little backstory, like he said earlier, we do spoilers. I give the whole breakdown of the book and we just like talk about it. There's probably not going to be too much this episode because there's a lot that we cannot discuss here. But Um, Ideally, you have Malachi and Olivia. They were adopted super early, super early. I think 4 and 5 or 5 and 6, something like that. They both come from really abusive families, drug-ridden families, you name it. Um, he is mute, does not talk. He only talks through sign language. He is a little bit unusual, obviously, as you can tell from what we're saying now. He does have a weird obsession with his sister, I guess you could say. Um,
Ye- Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
yeah. And in their family, they're a little bit more on the more posh side. So in their family, the women get quote unquote sold off to a man to get married, to start a family, start a better name, I guess. Start a bloodline,
Yeah.
all that. So the
Very
mom,
old school sort of
yeah,
like really old school sort of like mentality, which was
yeah,
crazy. I did not expect that. I'm gonna be honest with you.
oh yeah.
Not expected.
Well, the mom ended up selling off her daughter to, I believe, 3 men, 4 altogether, but they don't really discuss the fourth one too much at the end. She
Mm-mm.
has to basically attempt to get in line with one of them so that she can marry them. Obviously, it doesn't work out. Malachi kind of goes a little bit crazy and starts whacking people. Just playing whack-a-mole with her potential suitors.
Like literally, like grab a baseball bat, did a whack-a-mole.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And there's death in the family. And eventually, because of that, he decides to unalive his father, which is what I was just talking about. But he decides to unalive his father. Malachi ends up going to jail for a while, gets out, finds a sister. They live happily ever after.
Oh wait, no, I thought he survived.
The dad? Oh, he did.
Yeah, no, he did survive. Yeah, he got seriously
Oh,
maimed though.
oh,
Like
because he became like a basically like uh,
he's not
a
able to really
verbal
use his legs.
vegetable.
Well, not he gets to move his arms, but his legs are really jacked up. Like he has to be on a wheelchair,
He has like
and he has to use
severe
a
memory
cane.
loss.
Well, I know he has like a lot of like head issues. I think like pain.
Yeah.
I
So he
know
has
it's
severe
pain.
memory loss. He doesn't even know how he got hurt. He can't remember anything of that
Oh
night.
yeah, yeah. He got beat so bad that he can't remember.
And then a good old brown chicken, brown cow on father's body.
That that was much for me. That part. That was like I'm like the man's is maybe unsubscribe permanently, and I know it's dark romance. There are certain things, that I'm, still being exposed to, but I think that's nearing like certain lines I don't like. It's near it. Like it's like a tease into it.
My guy was unsubscribing from live with fruit punch spilling everywhere.
Uh-huh.
And they're
While
over there
two
just
people
brown chicken,
are
brown cowing with extra fucking. Hmm.
yeah. Yeah. That that right there was getting close to be of like I was about to be like, nope, I quit. Goodbye,
Because
signing
at
off.
one point, I'm pretty
And
sure they couldn't even figure out what was icing and what was fruit punch. And
no, at this point they just said both. They just said both. They didn't even bother
yeah,
make a. They didn't bother making a distinction. They just said it's both. And so I'm just like, "Ugh," you know, it was that like I said, that part was yeah a bit much for me.
I'm over here laughing because I'm just like, it. This isn't the worst in the lineup that we have. I mean, worst as in like trigger warning. So I just
Yeah.
know that once it does get to that one, I'm gonna literally get a call with like Aqua basically in fetal position in the closet at his job, rocking back and forth.
Bro, I don't even have a closet. I'm just gonna be in an equipment room. That's where I'm gonna be. I guess that could be a closet, but it's
I
too
guess I
big for it to
technically,
be considered a closet. Yeah,
we'll
it's too
just
big
find
to
a
be considered a
corner.
closet. Yeah. So
Um,
if I do end up DNFing, you know why. guys. So don't. So I'm
Well,
trying. Okay, this is coming from from the side where it's the grass is greener, things like that. She's over here is like, bruh, this is my Tuesday.
right?
So
Right.
please keep in mind, if it helps
Yeah.
any for those who are listening slash watching or in taking us, um,
I'm over here with my pinky up, sipping my tea, and you're over there fucking shaking, having an aneurysm. I'm just like, bro, it's fine.
pretty much.
It's fine.
Yeah, I'm like here ham fisted right now. But look, if think of it this way, we at this podcast we offer both sides of the spectrum. The lighter side, the good side, which is me. And
Well,
then the
just
other side.
keep in mind the series that one of the series we're gonna read next is a 6-book series and one of the hardest series to read if you're not familiar with dark romance. And Aqua handpicked it himself.
Without knowing. Let me put that on record. I was not aware.
I laughed.
Me did a monkey neural activation. Me saw good cover. Me went, ooh, good book.
I laughed. I was like,
Yeah,
"Are you sure?"
you see, and that's why I tried him because she's like, hey, 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 hey,
I'm like
just
that meme.
insert,
Yeah, boy.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. See, that's why I'm so
I mean,
worried. But
I didn't mind because I was gonna read it with or without him either way. But now I get to see his reaction, and he's gonna be
yeah.
scarred for life.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Look, if anything, you can never say I never tried. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna go for it for you guys. Okay,
Oh
so be
God.
grateful. Be grateful, people, in the comments.
Oh my God.
Type in L if you need to. That's fine. But I'm doing it for you guys. Okay.
You know
So
the funniest part
like and
about this
subscribe.
book, though. Oh my God. You know the funniest part about this book. Do you want to know the only one thing I wasn't okay with?
Really? You had something you weren't okay with?
Surprisingly, and you want to know what that one thing is, and I feel like you're gonna laugh. You're gonna think it's so like minor. Out of
Do
the
it.
entire because
I am dying to hear that. You have never mentioned anything about that so far, so let it rip.
okay,
I'm
so
so ready.
you know this book. It doesn't have a lot, but you know this book comes with a few trigger warnings. The one thing I
Yeah.
wasn't comfortable with is not on the trigger warning.
Bro, are you for real? I actually laughed in this book. That's the funny part.
Oh, I love this book so much. The one thing I wasn't okay with is letting the spider crawl on her. That was it.
Wow. Are you
That
kidding
was
me?
it.
I
I mean,
I
it was like a
actually
2 second.
hate spiders. I hate spiders. Okay, no, let me correct myself. I hate spiders touching me.
I mean, even
I
the
don't
wrench,
mind
I
spiders.
would be okay with that over a spider.
Really? That's what you're not okay with?
I would be okay with the wrench.
I am over here casting judgment.
It's
You
the
are
only
being
thing.
judged. I
He
am
like
casting
crawled on her
judgment
face,
on
and I'm
you.
just like,
Yeah.
you know,
How was I okay with that?
I will take icing and fruit punch over a spider.
I will not. I'd rather have spider.
Listen. All right, so now listen. There is talk amongst book talk about who is the better versus Zaddy Zaid or Malachi.
Zaid.
You know,
No hesitation. Zaid.
I
Zaid's
have
better.
hesitation. No, because Zaid is different because he's more rounded, he's more lucid.
Well, he's older.
Yeah. But then you have Malachi. He's just enough off his rocker to like you never know what's coming next.
True. Plus, for him, it's more of a like a mental issue, like an actual
Yeah.
diagnosis compared to Zaid. So if we were to think about this more logically, you technically cannot compare. Because one, there is not enough similarities between the two for it to be considered, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's
One
true.
person has a diagnosed mental issue. The other one, like with Zaid, is kind of in the air. But the thing is, he's very cognitive. He has self-control. Malachi was more, again, of his mental issue and has minimal control.
I do wonder
Plus,
though.
age as well plays a part. He's
Right.
older for Zayd, so he has already the years and experience to deal with that, and he's learned to. Malachi does not. Plus, he has an actual medical condition that is a constant I wouldn't say degradation, but it's like a permanent status effect, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways,
Um,
continue. I got all scientific.
no, and that's fine. That's what we need here. However, there is. I wonder. I know it's never said in the book, and I understand that he has mental disabilities and everything, and it never says it in the book, like I said. But I wonder how mentally old Malachi is. Now, that's not saying that he's like 26, but the mind of like a 10-year-old. No, but like I wonder if his mind isn't as made up because when he was 19, basically giving Olivia the silent treatment, coming through her window, sulking around, that wasn't necessarily 19-year-old. That was more of like a 14-year-old throwing temper tantrum.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So like,
I see exactly what you're saying. Yeah.
but like, I'm not saying that like to degrade him or anything. I'm just wondering if like mentally, like people who suffer from that like mental disability, I'm wondering if they are not mentally
All the way there.
like their age.
Yeah, honestly, I was thinking the exact same thing. I was honestly thinking that maybe he's like, okay, so like his physical age is 28. I still think that as he got older, his mental age went slower, if that makes sense.
And
Like
I'm
you said, like he was 19, he was acting like a 14-year-old, for example.
mhm.
Like I think maybe there was more space between his mental age and his actual age.
Right.
Does that make sense? Like,
No, it does. That makes perfect sense because I kind of agree. Um yeah, no, we need to read the second book already because I need it. I need it.
you want it, don't you?
But you know, I guess we'll go with the ratings because there's really not much else we can say because of the TOS on the tubes.
Yeah. If
But
anything, if you like dark romance, you like things very spicy and all that, and there's quite a bit of spice in this. Um,
if you like off your rocker biker boys with
yeah,
tattoos
and a rack to play
and a wrench,
and wrenching. Actually, no, not a wrench, a screwdriver. Screwdriver. It was a screwdriver.
I'm female, so it's the same thing.
Bruh. Really? Really? Okay, I'll give you
Wait,
that
the
one.
wrench is like the C one, and then the screwdriver is like the
Yeah,
pointy one, right?
yeah. One of the
Okay.
pointy ones, yeah.
Okay. See,
Yeah.
I know. Okay,
Yeah.
ratings. You go
Yes.
first this time.
No, 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 no. You go first
No, no, no,
because
no, no,
you
no,
have
no, no,
you
no,
have
no,
the
no.
Glock. You
No,
have
no,
the
no, no,
Glock.
no, 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 no.
All right, fine. We'll do it this
Nah.
way. I am. It's barely a 3.
Ew, why?
Okay. So controversy already.
I'm
So for
already
me, yeah, put the Glock down.
cracking,
Okay, just
cracking the
hear me
slide.
out. Hear me out. So for me, a lot of the writing felt a little too repetitive. I felt like too many things were kind of like shoved down my throat of the situation,
LOL.
and a lot of and a lot of like too much of a monologue, I guess. It felt more like less of a story and more of me just listening to just someone talk the entire time. It felt less of a book and more of just somebody just talking into my ear too much, if that makes sense. But I will give it this though, in terms of details, were really good, really vivid. Well, I'm saying good in terms of how they did things. Am I a favorite of some of the details? Not really, given how certain things were very vainly explained.
LOL.
but 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 like I said,
I'm
it's
not mature
actually
enough for this,
really
apparently.
good. No, you're not. But but um but yeah, no, the details are really good. So if you're a very detail oriented person, which is what I am, which is actually kind of why I gave it a 3, that and Malachi's, I will say that very much how the voice actor for Malachi like really sold it for me. So his performance really got, kept it a 3. Same thing with the details. When it came to everything else, I didn't care too much for the female voice actor. I feel like she'd be better off doing a different type of thing versus this. That's just my opinion, of course. Not saying that she did a terrible job. I just think that maybe she had something else that could have been better. Um, but it felt really repetitive on too many things for me. But I think maybe it's just how I understood it, maybe. But that was just me, and it kind of it annoyed me a bit. But I will say I did not expect to laugh from this book.
Oh
Like
yeah, it was
genuinely be
funny.
like, "Oh my god, that's so dumb." But okay, it's the fact that at one point Malachi was very domestic. It's like he just did this, very sus thing, and then he's over here like scrubbing the floors, putting everything back in place. But at the same time, is a jerk and just leaving the toilet seat up and leaving chocolates and putting a mustache on her foster mom's face, on the picture of the foster mom's face, which is like, okay, really? That is like the funniest thing ever, and also the dumbest thing in the world. Out of all things given the person, this is what you do in between besides everything else. And I just thought that was really funny. I don't know why. It was so stupid, but it was great. It actually made me kind of humanize Malachi a bit more. Like it reminds me that he is someone who has like a mental issue, you know and is left untreated. Basically, it was left untreated. Um, and so that I actually liked. Those parts like that I liked. Do I see more of the um humanized side of them? And then and some of the characters, I honestly, out of all the character between the parents, I like the father.
Ooh.
I did not like the mom. After at first I was team mom because of how she was, and the father being like the very stereotypical strict father, the very traditional things like that. The mom was way worse because the father cared about them. In of course not in the way most people expect, but to the point where he would not have paid a certain thing for a certain thing to happen to his daughter, which was like, I thought both did that. No, it was
Oh yeah,
only
no.
on the mother. And I'm like, are you serious? And then when it came down to like certain other things, like the whole like basement thing, with one of Olivia's suitors, um, he was ready for war.
Don't worry, Malachi took care of it.
But Malachi took care of it, and the father was like, "Okay, let's take care of this. Let's nip this in the bud, then. Public wise." And he stopped it too. But the mom was like, "Why would you do that? The connection, the agreement. That is what you cared about. That's what you cared about. I would have rather have the father any day versus the mom because of those things. Because to me, it felt like where it really mattered, the father's the one who pulled through, in my opinion. And sure, he was not exactly the best towards Malachi, and I'm not saying that he's the greatest. Comparing the two, if I had to choose, I would have chose the father over the mom any day. Controversial, I know, but
Well.
that's just me. Like I could not, I could not, I could not. The dad seemed
Ooh.
like the unsung hero to me.
Well.
Oh, and as I'm sorry, one last thing. As a reminder, um, the mom's a judge
Oh yeah, I
and the
forgot about
father
that.
is a defense attorney, and they're arranging marriages. The father at least had the good sense to see where you hurt, this, that, and the other. The mom not once asked that question.
Yeah. That is, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah.
So now for
So
my rating.
yeah, go for it. Mine's a soft 3. A bare. It's a 3. It's a 3. It's a 3. So, anyways, my tangent's over.
So very quickly before I get into my rating, going off of kind of what you said about like him drawing mustaches on the pictures and all that,
That's
that
still
kind of
so
just
funny.
goes right. Like it was funny. I laughed too. It was great, but that kind of goes hand in hand on what I was saying. I don't think Malachi, even older, is fully mentally there because like
Yeah,
that still sounds like such a teenage thing to do.
and he was an adult at that time.
Right. So I feel like he's still, because at that time he actually starts talking. We get to hear him speak, and it's
Hmm.
not the best thing in the world, but he is trying. He is getting better. It is fantastic. But even then, you can see that maybe he's not late 20s, you know?
Mentally late 20s, yeah.
Yeah.
Because he was like 28, something like that, like 28, 29. So I think at most maybe he was like 19.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe max like 21. Like
Yeah.
mentally.
I
Well,
think 21 is being generous, but yes, but
yeah.
as like not trying to like trying to be mean about it, like and being legitimate. I think 2021 is very generous given his situation.
Yeah.
in my
Because I
opinion.
don't really think that he, it doesn't ever say it in the book, but I don't necessarily think he's all that present at like school or anything like that. Because I mean,
Mm-mm, I don't think so.
just the way he's very advanced, or like when he's signing, even though he is, how do I say this? Even though he's not mentally his age from what, we think, he is still pretty advanced, like whenever he does sign language and all that, but then he throws the temper tantrums that just set him back a few years, and it really makes me think that he's not what we think he is, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying. I think it only seems that way in advance as sign language only because he's adept at it, because that's his only form of communication
Right. Because
versus
he
his
can
physical
hold,
actions.
right, and he can hold a very like adult-ish
We,
conversation.
he can talk about adult topics, but his mentality is not, it doesn't take it like an adult.
Right. Well, I guess right
You're
before
right.
we get into my rating, please read this book. I loved it, and it's great. I gave this book a 5. I love this book so much. I am actually different than Aqua. I think both of the voice actors for the audiobook did fantastic. I kind of do agree on the repetitiveness just a little bit, because there is a point where I think it was kind of Malachi's switch, I guess. I can't say the K word. Where he liked calling her little sister.
Yeah.
So,
And she said a lot too, like over and over
right.
again.
Well,
I'm like,
because it
yes,
kind
yes, I
of,
know. But it plays in the monologue. I understand that.
right, and it did. And I think, though, that it did get very repetitive with the names. But no, I liked it. I liked the way that it was written. I liked how this book was very easy to digest. Um, it surprisingly wasn't very triggering. I heard it was a very triggering book. It really wasn't. It didn't really hold anything besides the father unsubscription attempt. I mean, that was literally it. That was the only one that I was like, "Oh, okay." But other than that, like, there was really nothing too hard on this book. It was very, like, on a 1 to 10 on dark romance scale for me personally, it was like a 3. So it wasn't too rough. Um, so it's definitely easy to digest. Now, if you're brand new at dark romance, probably not. It's probably a little bit higher on the scale. But if you're
Like you're
seasoned,
me.
right? But if you're seasoned, you know what you're getting yourself into. It was a very, very quick and easy read. The Kindle version, like I said, I did it both. I did Kindle and then I did audiobook. The audiobook itself, I think, is only like 3.5 hours long because, like I said, it's only 12 chapters. If you do decide to do the audiobook, specifically start, I think, chapter 10. That's when Malachi's part comes in, and you will not regret it. He has the same dramatic tone as, let's say, like the Joker from Batman. Like, he is very expressive. He is insanely good at what he does. The voice actor specifically, I would give that a chance. The voice actor specifically made this book like a 10 out of 10. But no, I liked it. I really liked this book. I really, really did like it. And I'm excited for the second one. I don't know what even it's called Little Liar, so I don't know what's going on with that one, but or like what the plot is on that one, but I'm excited to see
I think
where
there's
we
gonna
are
be
there.
some lying involved, but I'm not too sure.
Oh, I'm not too sure. I don't know where you get that.
I have no idea.
Hmm.
We'll figure it out eventually.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's basically all we can say. Unfortunately, the TOS does not allow us to say much more. So
Yeah.
we left you with a lot of plot holes and questions, but for every hole, the book can fill it up. So go read it.
Mm-hmm. I feel like you did that on purpose.
Mm. No, if I did it on purpose, it would have been a little bit better.
Either way, it works.
It was a
It
little bit
fits.
on purpose.
Yeah, it kind of fits. Ah, ah,
Ah.
ah. All right. Well, I guess that's it.
I was like, don't laugh, don't laugh, don't laugh. But no, I really, really, really did enjoy this book. So I say read it, and it's definitely nice because this book actually just came out at the very end of October. It came out like a day or two before Halloween, but it's still a fairly new book. So actually, when did Little Fire come out? Is it already out? It is out because I was reading it the other day. Oh, it came
Ah.
out. It came out literally 1 month later. Wait, no, wait, what? Am I stupid? Oh, okay. I lied. Little Stranger came out in 23. Little Liar came out in 24. But either way, they came out the same time. But it's still fairly new. It is trending on TikTok right now, which I am absolutely obsessed with. But yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Even
there.
this says the story comes with extremely triggering content. No, it wasn't. It wasn't extremely triggering.
Unless you're me.
You'll get used to it. Once we
Yeah.
finish that 6-book series, you're gonna be like, once we like finish that 6-book series and then start another one, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, nothing phases me anymore.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll find out one way or another.
I guess.
I guess.
All right. Well,
All right.
until the next
Well,
one, which as you can
yep.
see, we're doing 2 videos a week now, so we'll see you in a few
What?
days. Yeah.
What? I did not know that.
Oh, surprise. We've been doing
Surprise.
2 videos a week for like 2 weeks now.
Yeah. See, guys.
Little does
Aren't
he
you guys
know.
happy? Yeah. Whoever wrote this script is terrible. Chad, we're gonna have to talk.
We need to stop docking our employees because they're all going to leave. We already don't have enough employees as it is.
We'll be fine. We'll be fine. We'll just have more cookies. Anywho's the weasels.
Okay, bye.
Well, bye. All right, violence. Let's go.